Where Dan is, he is on a flight here. He had a shoulder operation because he's been messing around trying to be an Olympian. Didn't work out for him. NIP not on a good start here. Pistol round of Trey, but maybe they can turn it around with 2 people towards Ivy. Maybe not. Mihu taking 1. He's been good in these pistol rounds. Good for Virtus Pro so far as well. 3 versus 4. The bomb moving towards the bomb train, but surely there is no plant attempts being made. There's practically no cover for the bomb. Get right, moving around, and he will get traded by Snack. Strachan might have shot him in the head or something earlier on by accident. And there is the man Forrest moving in towards the connector position with the Glock, so he is limited in range. And he has a lot to do. Neo, Snacks, and Burley, all with Kevlar as well. He's got to find the head. Otherwise, he might be looking at 6 shots to kill someone, maybe even 7.
Ooh. Really like the pistol round shot right there by Virtus Pro. You have that top spawn of Bialy go into Laterum, and you'll see him do that a lot on gun rounds too. And then you have Mihu at Ivy with the smoke. If he does feel a rush coming, he smokes off the front of Ivy. If they go inner, he has a smoke kit for that defuse. Pretty well thought out pistol round right there by Virtus Pro. Maybe trying to break that 0-17 T-side pistol streak that I saw. That is unreal. Apparently they won one. So.
Yeah, that is quite shocking. 5 Deagles and Kevlar for NIP. Some teams might opt for just Deagles in this round and Deagles in the next round should they lose. But they've opted for the Deagles and the Kevlar. So if they lose this round, we might just see a clean eco from them later on. So that position was a scout. Some people call it stop sign. Some people call it camera because there's a CCTV above that area. We had discussion with Dazed about 5 and 6 train.
Ah, what was the discussion
yesterday?
About?
Well, he calls both trains 5 and 6 because he doesn't know which one's which.
What?
Or he can't remember and gets confused. Clear. Very nice peppering there by Mihu. And there goes Rez as well.
Are you a Deagler, James?
I'm a. It depends. It depends on the map. I will often go to a Deagle. I love me some Deagle, but it depends on the map. It depends on where I want to go. It depends on what side I'm on. So sometimes it might be a P250 or a CZ. Like if it's like top mid, if it's top mid on Inferno and I'm on the CT side, I'll get 2 people to stack on the arch side looking into mid where the wall is.
Oh yeah,
because if they throw grenades, you're protected, and if somebody faces, you almost always get at least 1 kill.
Yeah.
And you'll avoid a lot of flashbangs as well. So it's situational. But if I'm like on my own, I might go in apps of a CZ. So it just depends. What about you?
I actually don't use the Deagle. No. I use the CZ a lot. On CT side, I've been trolling with the R8 in Pugs, and it is actually so strong in Pugs. I don't feel like it's very competitively viable, but it's like a scout. It does like 80 damage a shot. So if you find a good spot to keep peeking out and getting a bullet off, it's so OP.
I remember when that first came out, and I was playing with Henry G on Inferno, and it basically fired AWP bullets. And it was hilarious.
Yeah, it's crazy, actually. It's really strong.
It was insane.
But in actual competitive environments, the trading potential makes it kind of worthless.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be close up for right-click spam.
Yeah.
And even then, I feel like...
You just get traded out.
I feel like if you fire the Deagle as fast as possible, I feel like it's bullet 4, 5, and 6, or 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah.
You know? But probably worse, to be honest. I haven't really checked the statistics. So we have a pause before the first, before round number 4.
Ah, nice. We got X-ray on. There we go.
Flashes and smokes for the NIP squad. So rumors of Exist going to Fnatic.
Yeah, I don't get it. I honestly don't understand.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that, but it's hard to see what is going on in terms of leading and mid-round calling from the outside, you know? So why they would do that is very curious.
I mean, those Fnatic guys have always been superb at mid-round calls. Like, their mid-round calls have always been really good. You could tell they all have really good understanding of rotations. So maybe they don't respect Golden's decisions as much because he doesn't think on the same wavelength as them because he doesn't have the experience. That's literally the only thing I can think of, you know?
It's curious, but though, because one of the issues there is like they needed somebody from the outside to have a different pair of eyes to change the way they approach things, because if you if you just do things the same all the time, which has been a criticism of NIP, then people just know what to expect, and it's easier to exploit you. I remember they did say when Golden was new to the team, I don't know if it was E-League or somewhere else, that he was like Pronax in that, or at least they were like when they were with Pronax, in that they would set up a T side the same, a T round the same, and then vary it towards the second half, towards the late game. Like they'd have on Inferno, they might throw the smokes deep, Arch and Library, for example, that kind of thing. But sometimes they might wrap to B, sometimes they might make a play towards A.
Yeah.
So
similar looks, different end products.
Yeah.
It's always really strong. Yeah, Fnatic looked really good strategically. But I always thought Fnatic had quirky ideas. Even when Flusha was in-game leading, he found, I don't know if it was him finding it or other people, but I always would see Fnatic bust out a smoke that I'd never seen, which was interesting because you wouldn't think of Fnatic as being that team. But when Flusha was in-game leading, that happened a lot. So maybe Flusha thinks he can go back to doing something like that, and they could have the same success. Maybe they won't exist in-game lead. I have no idea. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. He is a strong fragger.
Oh, he's a very strong fragger, yeah.
Yeah. Very curious to see how that goes.
Do you do this when you have downtime? Whip to heads?
I don't do that often enough.
Yeah.
I don't do it often enough.
It's good. Gets your hand movement going.
Yeah, I feel like if I am to play CS properly, I have to have 2 hours of deathmatch beforehand.
2 hours?
Yeah. To get all the derp out. Because I don't have a good mouse style, because my wrist is at the bottom of my mouse pad.
Yeah.
So I think I have like the worst possible mousing style.
Do you use high sense? How would you do that?
What is your sense?
My sense is very low. It's like 1.5.
But what DPI?
400.
Okay, so mine's about 1.1 at 800.
Okay. That's cold zero sense.
Does that mean I'm double yours?
No, you're at 2.2 mine.
Okay. So I don't know. I can't remember how that bloody stuff works. Anyway, I have like the worst mousing style basically. So I have to DM for like 2 hours, and then I'm in the zone.
2 hours.
Yeah, man. When I last played at LAN, I would go 2 hours early and deathmatch for 2 hours. So maybe like 1.5 hours would be fine, but for me that was like, okay, all the derps out, all the stuff that you see in show matches is out of the way in deathmatch, and now I'll play properly.
That's real, James.
Yeah.
So when you stream, do we get derp James, or do we get?
When I stream, I will, most of the time I'll deathmatch for like half an hour or 40 minutes or something.
Okay. Before you stream?
Before I stream, yeah.
You don't want that derp in there.
Or sometimes I'll just go in raw.
Just go in raw.
But I think like if you ever have the heating on too much and all the windows are closed, it kind of makes you tired.
Yeah.
So sometimes I have that. So some people see me like blinking really hard. And it looks really weird because I'm kind of tired, and I'm kind of want my eyes to be open longer so I can like hold an angle or something. So yeah,
I like a nice heated room, but when you start getting like that forearm stickiness to the table, it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah. See, I have no forearm on the table. That's the thing. It's just wrist.
Yeah.
So that's why, like when I had the 180 when Moses was on cash, my mouse was like some weird part of the mouse pad, and I just because my arm's not on the table, I just couldn't correct it. And I was like doing some really awkward movements.
All comes back to Moses.
So we're waiting for one person to connect. Oh, what if Taz came back? That would be next level. Interested to see Taz's rumored team as well. I think he will definitely have the fire under him, apparently, yeah. See no confirmations yet, but I look forward to it.
Neo actually played really well yesterday against FaZe. Neo and Pasha.
Yeah?
Yeah, top fraggers. Nihu didn't have that good of a game, but I guess it doesn't matter when you beat FaZe.
All right, there we go. Everybody's back on the server, so we should be getting back to the game soon. It's interesting in North America. I've been playing a lot of hubs on Faceit recently with the Mythic Hub and other things. going on, and it's interesting because you talk to other North American players, and a lot of them have issues with like storms and things affecting their internets.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I don't think we have it that bad in Europe.
Yeah, that's. I mean, notorious. We've always had internet problems in North America. It's crazy, like routing issues to here and there, storms causing internet to go down. It's just. I feel like there's just too many providers, and they're not. They don't have the infrastructure that you guys might have.
Yeah, I think routing issues are definitely a problem out here as well. But it's really interesting.
What do you think about that Mag 7? Where do you take a Mag 7 on train to get kills? You
Ladder. You could take it to
ladder?
B ramp.
Yeah, it could go B ramp, could go IV.
You could go IV, but
it's the worst feeling when you rotate with a Mag 7.
Yeah, I think IV is not very ideal because from IV position you might support someone coming out, to kill someone coming out pop or something. So you're going to be quite limited there. Ooh, careful Neo, don't get too hungry for it. Okay, not shy to show his presence in this area. And that's a problem. It's a good 20 seconds wasted, although it's still early in the round. NIP are going to have a lot of time to deal with things. Get right, making a push elsewhere. Maybe NIP reading that there's a man investment towards B.
At first I thought that was a really risky play, but if you looked at that smoke, it had a fat gap in the backside that he was able to run through.
Oh, Neo overstayed his welcome. And that's going to have Pasha rotating. So what we've noticed is that, Taz used to be the B player, but now it is Neo. So Mihu's not just taking up all the roles by default, which is very good to see when you join a team that are being proactive about how they change their identity. Snacks on the flank. Only good for the one kill there. Two CTs, though, making their way through the site, but Draken's got the side covered. Mihu will be the last man. They know where he is now, but all he knows where he is. It's Dennis that remains. No Molotov for him. So Mihu will have a Molotov off his own, facing the low ground, and there he goes. Dennis will get NIP's first round on the board.
Yeah, I mean, Mihu thought he'd be upper, maybe reposition after that kill on Snacks. He had to gamble it. Fortunately, Dennis comes on lower, secures the round. I think it was a pretty good mid-game decision by NIP right there to just flood inner the second they get that kill in that 4-on-4. Decisive.
Haven't really spoken about Dennis yet. Always been one of my favorite players.
Yeah, he's one of those exciting players that you can always, get a highlight of every match.
Oh, timing. That's got to be frustrating. Is that a mouse slamming moment there?
Yeah, has to be. I mean, he has done that 2 rounds in a row, actually. Get right at IV, and now Red's at mid.
Nice aggressive play from Mihu there. Getting an early pick. Now sit back and enjoy the 5 versus 4. Forrest still on a pistol. He is moving towards main now, so perhaps he will collect the drops gun on his travels. Smokes into the A site. Draken's in pop dog. 3 of them in main. Almost 4 players on the A sites. Pasha very close to connect, moving in now next to Bali. Might be a boost involved. Mihu just waiting, just dancing around the smokes. Molotov towards camera, and Mihu gets taken out by Draken. Bali on the high ground. Mixture of silenced M4s and M4A4s will do the job here for Virtus Pro. 4 versus 2. Slow flank from Neo while this continues. Draken gets his bell rung, and that's the bomb spotted. So Virtus Pro, most of the information, now all the information. Now Draken has 30 seconds to do as much damage as possible. Sees one in front, taken down from the back.
Eek, that's a brutal round for NIP. Winning a 1-on-1, getting hard reset like that with 4 CTs alive. Ugh. It's going to be a hard half right now for NIP. Just so they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
We saw a bunch of P250 rounds, USP rounds won yesterday. It was very, very unusual games of Counter-Strike. Well, one in particular. Don't ask me which one, I can't remember.
NIP is actually opting for a full save here, which, I mean, not technically a full save, but as close as you could get in CSGO, which is weird because they're going to have to save again next round.
Oh boy, ding dong, that's a bomb plant right there. Oh, or is it? Bomb plant would be absolutely massive for them, but that's the bomb lost. 3 players all down the ramp. Perhaps a second too slow. Pasha in position, and now the bomb plant becomes nigh on impossible. Get right, waiting for somebody to come close quarters, and of course it's going to be Pasha. He will make the journey. There's the info for for Virtus Pro rather. Get right, really needs to grab that bomb. But it's just at the point of no return, basically, and he's aware of that. So he chooses to fight, but it won't happen. So let's see what they can do with their money. They could buy some AKs, but they'd have no grenades.
Yeah, maybe they were really banking on getting a plant right there at enter. So yeah, here's the half buy. So just do it around later. And they have 4 smokes, so probably a wall of smoke outside. Sandwich smoke as well.
This is a hefty investment.
I'm never a fan though of sending the bomb out mid when you throw a wall of smokes, because he has that extra route where the heaven guy can see him and the guy top green can see him. Just makes it a lot harder to get a plant down.
So what do you think are the better options for the bomb then?
Sending the bomb out ladder is typically safer for his route, but obviously it's harder to get into ladder room if there's a CT in there. So I guess there's trade-offs either way.
Oh, they used the decoys.
They did the decoy thing.
Yeah, I suppose they did.
Love
Because
that.
here come the smokes, and now Virtus Pro have only got 1 Molotov. Barley gets absolutely wrecked. Hello, Rez. Can he avenge his teammate? He's done good damage so far. Does he commit to the bomb plant? He's picked up an AK-47. 2 versus 3. This is still winnable. They could maybe consider retreating if they wanted to, but that situation might have passed now. Get right, manages to escape the situation. He's got time to fight back.
Oof, that missed right bomb smoke actually probably cost them. Because those 2 entries were huge by Rez. That was such a nice second shot.
That's really weird and fast forward. Bosh. Right then, 6-1. And again, that was a hefty investment from NIP. Again, there was no bomb plant, which they may have been expecting, so grenades will be limited. Get right, moving out fast towards the E-box position. Do you ever have somebody moving? Actually, I'll ask you afterwards. Oh boy, this is a very fast moving round indeed. Forest up on blue, dropping down. Dennis spots the play towards connector, but he can't find the kill. Too much jiggling. That's the 1 versus 3 for Forest. He needs to move as fast as possible before these CTs keep rotating, going for the tap. The Barley will be the one to land a shot.
It was a really strong round by Virtus Pro. I thought they were in a bad spot again. They just shut them down in these like mid-round fights. Win them all.
Do you ever have somebody go fast connector on a T side to peek a CT who's trying to run to Pop Dog?
Yeah, the ladder push pick.
Yeah.
It's a strong pick, yeah. Because you can actually jump into that left T mid corner and avoid the Z opper. You can avoid that angle, and you basically get a fight one-on-one if you have an AWP or AK against a rifle.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty favorable situation. Obviously, you could potentially take tank nade damage and Molotovs, which is why people don't always do it.
Yeah. Because
it is a little punishing sometimes. But yeah, you will get that one-on-one a lot of times.
Yeah, it's really cool because you can try to condition the CTs not to make that play, especially when their money is a bit wiry.
Yeah.
Which gives you more access to Pop Dog. Oh, there we go again. Who is that this time? Smoke grenade rolling on the floor.
Oop, Neo again.
Sad story. I wonder what parts of Poland he's in.
It's like
7-1.
That smoke grenade signifies a tear. Just splashing in the ground.
Right, let's go on camera, man. Let's talk about some stuff.
What do we have?
I've got stuff on the table. Let's go.
Keys. Got some weird musical instrument.
So I have 2 keyboards. Oh dear, I've dropped them again. I have 2 keyboards being delivered hopefully next week. One is a keyboard where the case is made from bamboo and the switches are magnetic, called Hall Effect switches, which were, I think, in like the 80s or early 90s, but they were phased out for cheaper ones. I think Henry G's bought one of those as well, and I think Machine has bought one of those as well.
What is the benefit of having magnetic
just cool,
switches?
Man. I think they're more reliable actually. Although I mean these are reliable enough. right? But I don't know. I'll reread the page, but I'm just I like nerding on that stuff. It's kind of cool. And also I have another keyboard with no switches coming, so I've got my Zelios 78 switches. The bag, oh, you can't see the table down here. The bag exploded that these came in, so they're just all over the table right now. But I'm ready to get my soldering on. So when that keyboard comes in, then I'll teach you guys some assembly stuff here. And I have I noticed magazines aren't bought as much as they used to be, right?
No,
so they
not at
have
all.
these they sell these like special edition like expensive magazines as well. Like they have those like phone manuals for old people or whatever, or people who are just not into computers, which are like £15 something. Like, so Edge had a 2017 edition of the 100 greatest video games. So I'm gonna read through that.
ECS in there.
I think it's pretty cool. I haven't opened a page actually. Let me have a quick flick. I don't really care. Oh, I just saw a Counter-Strike.
Really?
Yeah. So
Has to be in there, right?
Global Offensive.
Ooh, okay.
Global Offensive is at number 75. Spoilers. But I would imagine Counter-Strike and Half-Life would be a much higher. So
Ooh,
I'm going to have...
You're probably right. They probably...
Ooh, Super Meat Boy's in it. That's cool. League of Legends. Bloody hell.
79. So we're ahead of League of Legends?
Do you watch League of Legends?
No, I don't. I watched like the finals, the World Finals, but I have no idea what I'm watching. It's like just... I was watching the root for Faker in the finals.
Okay.
But I literally have no idea what I'm watching.
The game's too bright for me.
Yeah.
It's too bright.
So.
I can't... Okay, StarCraft 2 is 85. Am I going backwards? Oh, of course I'm going backwards. Oh, yeah, so we are higher. All right. So number 1 is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Is that the Nintendo Switch one?
I feel like you can't go with number 1 first, because now anything you say after here, no one cares about.
Okay.
You have to build to number 1, James.
Dark Souls is number 2. Wait, so is this of all time or just 20? I don't know what this is. I guess it's of all time. Half-Life, okay, yeah. Half-Life 2 is number 6. Half-Life 2 is awesome.
I've never played Half-Life.
Really? Are you trolling
Your
me?
face.
You're trolling me,
Yeah,
aren't
I
you?
swear. Swear on me, Mum. Never.
Really? Oh my God. We need to lock you in a room, man. Oh my, I've never met someone who said that before. That's crazy.
Your face was crazy. It was priceless.
I'm like, what? Man. Definitely worth playing all of those. Like next time you got the lurgies or something, just get the Half-Life game on from the beginning, including the 2 episodes as well. It's great stuff. I think if you played them at the time, I think like Half-Life 2 at the time, like when those games were released as well, it would have had more impact than now. But they still hold up.
I feel like the train left without me. You know, I can't catch up. It's too late. It's too late. I've missed it. You know?
To be honest, you could just start with Half-Life 2 and just forget the older ones. I've never completed the original Half-Life. Oh. Oh! Pasha, you sexy beast. 3 pistols remaining. I think like they know an AWP's there. I mean, you might have rifle support close. I think just run out, hope he shoots one of you, plant the bomb.
Yeah, I feel like if Draken has this angle, why would they not just flood out upper and get a plant? It seems so easy for them to be able to get a plant this round. You just have to trade that close kill.
Yeah, I mean, the longer they stand there, and now he's got the bomb. So it's only going to get worse for them, in my opinion. And yeah, end up with 3 people on the B bomb site. So I guess the focus was kills and trying to keep the economy honest. It's a boosted shot. Well, not boosted, but well, I guess they were boosted. It was awesome. Okay, I have a lot of problems with this. Top 100,
the list is no good.
But we'll get back to it. Now it's a buy round. NIP looking for round number 2. Oh, get right. Wondering where his chest has gone. It's been blown to pieces.
This is interesting.
Oh, so normally you have the kind of trade situation. Pash has made an overstep there. His barrel's giving him away. So normally you have a trade situation and Miki would be holding a rifle, but he'd be holding it on the left wall. Or that wall, either one. But this time he's looking for a smoke, I presume, to escape the situation afterwards. There's the flashbang, the missed shot, there's a smoke, and...
oh. It's for the second kill. Or the second shot. Oh, no. That's really clever.
Will they escape it, though? Dennis is still there. Another smoke. This is wasting a lot of time for it. They had 2 people invested there. Now they've got to rotate away. That will be heard. They've got 45 seconds to move into one of these sites. Get right making his way towards the B area. And you've only got Neo at the very back of B with an AK. Moving to oil is Neo. Bali in control. Not shy to reload in front of the smoke. So 27 seconds now. And there's a push through Ivy, which makes it basically a 4 versus 3 on the B bomb site in favor of NIP if they start moving quickly. But they're really got to get their skates on. I don't think they... Oh, that's a massive frag from Get Right. And another one. And that might even be the round. Although I think there is money for versus pros. So they may go for kills at the very least.
Yeah, really interesting decision by Snacks right there, because he had that guy, like you said, push through Ivy, and you saw him rotate through Z, but he opted to go back to outside, even though he had someone in ladder and push through Ivy. And by the time he got back, it was too late. There was a guy post on him from inside the site. It's just kind of unfortunate that Neo got picked, I guess, in those seconds that he thought like that, but...
So there it is, round number 2. Let's see what the money's like for Virtus Pro. Some had good money, some had about 2,200. And now somebody else has disconnected. It's Snacks. Disconnect again. I wonder if they... I remember back in the days where we would be doing Face It League and loads of people would be getting DDoSed.
Oh, that's the worst.
There was... I remember one person, I think it was a Danish player. He lived in like a little village or something. So when they DDoSed him, basically his entire town didn't have internet. Which is crazy.
I'm sure
that
they
is
loved
next
him
level.
there. They loved him in that city.
Yeah, man. I got DDoSed once by some random guy in IRC. It's like I could, you know, what do they call it? Like ping flooding or whatever. It's like, you know, packeting. He said he could packet me off the internet. I was like, go on then. And he did for like 10 hours. I was like, man, I got no internet.
Yeah, I think it happened to me like 10
sucks.
years ago. I got the guy banned. This was like in the Cal days.
Okay.
The Cal League. I got this guy banned, but he's a changed man now. I ran into him recently. He's a nice guy. So he's forgiven me. I've forgiven him.
Oh, man. Packeting. I remember Win Nuke 95 and Win Nuke 98. I went to school with some Russian kids, and they would nuke the LAN computers with Win Nuke. You would just put the IP in and press nuke, and it would just blue screen the computer. And then all the thing is, we were like in like Black North London,
Yeah.
and like all the brothers, if you will, wanted to beat the crap out of them.
What
It was
does
like
Black North London
there's this
mean?
place called Kilburn, right, which is just loads of black people,
Oh,
and
is
it's
that what you
like
meant by that?
it's a bit rough. Yeah, it's a bit rough. So, so they wanted to like beat on the Russian kids for like nuking the computers. And like, you know, I was like, so, you know, technically I'm slightly black and slightly nerdy because I'm half white. So I was like, guys, everyone calm down. Yeah. Fun times. Anyway, 2-8. NIP short on grenades once more. Pop flash from Get Right, Molotov. Perfectly timed. He's a good player to watch, lurking towards B bomb sites and just harassing with grenades, especially on Cash. Nice shot from Get Right. Is he ready for Pasha, though, who is about to peek? There it is. That is a big problem. No one else from NIP has moved yet or needs to move. How far does Get Right go? Waiting to see if there's any reaction, trying to pull players away from the B bomb site. And Virtus Pro have no idea. All they've seen so far is Get Right. They're not close to Pop Dogs. If anybody's running around the showers and so on, they won't hear it. So they have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, and Get Right's job right now is basically to figure out what's going on. If he dies to this guy, they know they can get a 2-on-4 outside. So they know they have a 2-on-4 outside, or they can commit to inside right now because that guy's playing super passive like that. That's what they do.
Yeah, that's a really good example. Like one thing I've seen with people in North America when I've been playing in the hubs is they'll get one pick and they're like, let's go.
Yeah, they just flood. Everyone floods. You just get flanked.
Yeah.
Fall into a rotation trap.
Doesn't matter where they are on the map. One pick is enough. But I'm like, guys, calm down, please. So that is an example, just allowing get rights to do the reconnaissance. And if you hold position and they're trying to push somewhere else, then it just makes it easier for you to frag. So the money for Virtus Pro is not looking so good now. Nice from Snacks. Does he go for the kill? It's not particularly worth his while.
How mad is Draken? How mad?
That's hilarious. Great stuff from Get Right. But again, as a lurker towards B bomb sites, I learned my grenades on cache on B from watching his demos. So definitely look at Get Right's demos.
What's that, on CT side or T side?
On T side. It's like when he smoked off the front, Molotovs the vents and so on. I added a smoke behind the a grenade behind the box. So if anybody's behind the box outside B, it'll collide with them, so you know somebody's there.
Yeah, Garrett used to make a lot of crazy plays with that smoke, like creeping through it on the left, creeping through it on the right.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't really work as much because people are a lot more aware. That's why I kind of hope that we see, like, you know, Dust 2 and maybe even Sub-Zero added to the pool, because it allows for those kind of cool plays when you see a new map that people haven't completely mastered. What do you think about the ideas of new maps?
I love the ideas of new maps. I think it's very important for the longevity of Counter-Strike.
I think so as well.
Yeah, to be honest, like I've spent a fair amount of time looking around Dust 2, and I don't really want it.
No, I don't think Dust 2 is like no. I just want a new map.
Yeah, I think it's cool to leave it for the casuals. I think it needs updating because, bear in mind, they updated the models as well. In my opinion, there are. Actually, I think it's a fact. I think like there are a lot of visibility issues with the models who have like the kind of camel color tops on, and places like outside B doors behind the box, it's hard to see the bald guy's head. The headshot at the back of B, it's hard to see people there if you're in front of the car position. Like there's loads of places like that, which is bad. But also, I just think the map is not going to be. I think it's too basic now to be added back into the map pool. So
that's true.
Yeah. I want to play Sub-Zero, but I haven't yet.
Yeah, I haven't yet played it, but I watched a few videos on it. It looked really fun.
Yeah, I'm avoiding those. I'm going to make my own look around, so I want it to be like a fresh journey of discovery.
The Bardov Molotov, the Bardov Sub-Zero.
I did playtest it when it was an orange box map, actually. I'm sure it's changed since then. And now it has textures, so it'll be completely new. 4-8 in favor of Virtus Pro, but the score doesn't favor them. How deep will Bialy peak here? Does he look below the ladder? No. Oh. Now that's awkward. You can see the process in his mind. Like, oh my god, I'm exposed to Pop Dog. Oh my god, someone's in mate. Oh my god, someone's below me. Drawing a triangle with his mouse. Yeah. Red's almost caught up a grenade out of pre-fire. They can both see each other's legs. Mihu with the 2K working out really well for Virtus Pro. Nice peeking there, showing the arm. Doesn't get the third frag though, leaving Pasha alone. Making his way in through connector. As you can see, they're very wary of somebody being towards Ivy. Limited in where they can pull out the bomb. They have to take risks. There it is, Draken. Sorry, Dennis. Does he scope in? Because then Pasha would know. Pasha knows anyway where he is because he planted a bomb. Now it's time to Get Right. Where is Get Right?
Because of the smoke that NIP threw, he has a pretty good idea that he wouldn't be Ivy right now. Just kind of working it out.
Get Right is having a field day. 3K for Get Right. He's having a good game of Train. 15-10, far ahead, more than double the score of any of his players. Top fragging on the server right now is Get Right.
Yeah, and NFP's really turned this around. I think they've won 4 straight. Yeah, 4 straight. Being down 8-1.
Nice. See Virtus Pro back on the eco once again. Get Right sees many bodies moving out through the connector area. Oh.
You know, it's a really meaty nade that I like, that Gambit used when they won the major, but not many teams are using it, is the pre-nade on T-side train to middle bomb train. So you know how like as CT you would jump to the middle of the bomb train to like kind of either move towards sandwich or even just stay there for a ladder? Oh my god, look at Virtus Pro actually win this round now. Yeah, that nade would do like 40 damage.
At this point, even if Forest kills like one person and dies, or two people and dies, well, actually, it's kind of weird because now, the point I was going to say was they'll take less guns into the next round versus Pro if we can kill some of them and die. But now he's kind of trapped here. The CTs have maneuvered themselves towards guns. They've thrown the AWP to Pasha. They've picked up the AK as well, so now his job gets even more difficult. So one goal is trying to win the round. One goal is just taking the guns away. Never want to give a sniper up for free. Which is why I always wince when I see people with an AWP hunting somebody on eco on their own.
It's almost like Forrest just wanted to die that round. And VP just would not let him smoke and fall.
So there it is. That's a massive bounty for Virtus Pro. Taking 3 weapons into the next round gives them an extra buy should they lose this. If they get reset, it won't be as bad as it normally would be. I don't think Launder's a surface jet. What is the time here? It's 12:15. So let's see.
Fun fact about Launders, he actually just made up his alias because it sounded cool.
Yeah.
Found that out at Summit.
Well, there's the AWP back in the hands of NIP. It is the last round of the first half. 2 plays on pistol, so I'm sure Draken will make his way over to collect the sniper rifle. If it is collectible, I'm not sure if it's down the ramp or up the ramp.
I feel like Get Right is dominating these brown holes right now on D side. He is just destroying Pasha and Neo over there.
If NIP had a HE grenade, they could have dropped it just past the AWP down the ramp and set it back up towards them, but they have no HE grenade, so they can't do it.
It's one of my favorite plays when I see that work out.
Yeah. Or if you're on anti-eco, just to get it away from where your player drops. .45 seconds for NIP, 5 versus 4. Re-smoking the ramp. Neo is close. Rez looking to make a play in A in the meantime, and they've got Dennis on the rotation, so this might be a slow one from NIP. Oh, that timing has got to be so annoying for Get Right. Neo making some perfection plays there. 19 seconds now. Rez really needs to get involved. Will he pull distraction? Mihu keeping an eye on him, looking for the 1 dig. That will keep them slightly delayed, but the bomb's been planted now. There will be a flank from Pop Dog. Snacks looking for the maybe inevitable peak. Jumping, spots Draken. Really nice play from Snacks, and there's Forest as well. So 10 rounds for Virtus Pro, 5 for NIP.
Don't you hate that when you overthink your lurk? You saw how Rez lurked out mid right there. He was like in the clear. He could have gone through sandwich, probably got a 2K. Went all the way down hell. There happened to be no one playing Ivy. So the CTs just were like, oh, look at this guy. He's just coming out of Ivy. When in actuality, Rez came out middle, and they had no idea the entire time. So just like overplayed his lurk right there.
It's crazy.
It's crazy how that all played out.
Alrighty then. NIP, 5 rounds on the board. Is that enough? Will they win a pistol? Time will tell. Two players with grenades for Virtus Pro. Sometimes they go as far as 3 players on grenades.
Yeah, I think they might be investing a little bit too much into utility on their T-side pistols. Like, I think they've been going with 3 people a lot lately, and that's just...
Yeah, I respect it, but like watching many of those rounds, it just seems that the nature of the pistol round kind of overwhelms good intentions with some kind of strat and execute.
I haven't seen that smoke in a long time. Me gusta.
That's really cool. Water's falling into the B-bomb site. The bomb has made it to default. There are 3 CTs, make it 2. Get Right's been picked off. Draken will get shot at range in the face, but those blocks aren't good enough for the 1 shot. 3 on 3 now. Snacks trapped around default. Sees a player on the high ground. Some flashes coming in for some more space. He'll hit the second one. Got to get a shot Close to cigar. Neo's here. Got a teammate on the high ground as well. Massive shot from Rez, and there it is. The one tap from Rez. There's time to defuse the bomb. So we should be heading towards a close game.
I felt like we should have just wagered everything we owned that VP would lose that pistol round, knowing what we know.
That's true.
But yeah, it was pretty cool pistol, or smoke, I guess, pistol in general. It's just, yeah, you can't win when Rez does stuff like that.
Get one man with a P250, flash and a smoke, throw somebody the P250, and away you go. I always buy P250 and a pistol round on Seaside.
The hero AK buy. A lot of teams have been doing this lately. I like it.
I love the hero AK buy.
Yeah.
If I'm the hero.
They basically give him this AK, and they still plan on buying next round. It's just they want him to really hurt the economy of the CTs this round, and potentially even win it.
Oh!
Warning
shots.
Could have had that.
Ooh, Pasha 7 HP. He has some players. Okay, no one else has Kevlar, so difficult situation now with the AK. I think I'd probably still throw it to somebody without Kevlar. Yeah, Miku's got it now. Makes sense to me. Smoke goes down connector. Players on either side of A. Oh, this is getting so close. He gets gooched, as the Americans would say. Does that mean something bad? It does?
The way you said it, yes. That's not exactly how we say it.
I don't know these American terms. It's pure innocence. I like the moose thing. 11 to 6 and NIP have been reset. We don't have moose in America, in the UK. So what can I say? Now NIP are in trouble. Would you argue that is the better round for Virtus Pro to win rather than the pistol?
I've always been a fan of winning the second round more, to be honest. But it's just like a morale thing, you know? When you lose those second rounds, you feel so much worse than when you lose a pistol.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing from oh dear, this is going back very, very quickly indeed. I think it's a good thing from like a coach point of view, or the person who, if your team like needs that morale boost, you know, if you're on a T side and you lose the pistol and you're going to force, and it's like, that's fine guys, it's fine. If we win the second round, it's even better than winning the first round. It's like, you know, just dissipate the negativity and stuff, you know.
That was a super chaotic round, by the way.
Yeah,
I don't know what VP's plan was right there, but it just completely crumbled.
I mean, yeah, I don't actually know what happened in that part from everybody died on VP. Nice shot from EU, and that's an angry response. That is a very angry response. 4-round lead, trying to maintain it, to extend it. Maiming NIP. 4 players have left a hole in the defenses. There's Forrest with a second kill. If you hit the Kevlar, you often need 3 shots with the Deagle rather than 2. Mew's waiting for it.
Oh my. The awareness.
The Deagle. Draken, he's in a good spot. Oh no! The grenade! Granate! So risky. Never know what's around the corner.
I love that mid game right there, by the way, by VP. So you get that pick on the guy coming out ladder. You know that that's either a mid player or a ladder player, right? So by sending a guy through Ivy, you know the Ivy guy probably has to take account for mid a little bit, because there could be a mid run out at that point. So the Ivy guy's focused, so Pasha can walk out Ivy. It's a good call in that 5v4 to do that. And then the rest of those players go inner, because you know the Z guy potentially has to stay outside, so you'll probably get like a 1-on-4 at inner. It's just really good mid game by VP after that pick.
Awesome stuff. And we'll just go by the wayside once again. Virtus Pro need to calm things down here. That's a good way to do it. Snack's making his way through the IB position, so is Mihu, and now NIP are limited in where they can hide, but a grenade doing some huge damage. Dennis will be heard by the players outside of main. So Get Right's got to get something going. Smart enough to look towards CT. Snacks! Not quite aiming at anything, maybe looking at the radar, I don't know. But that's a huge frag. But again, they knew that Dennis was here, but now he's gone elsewhere. Trying to cover himself well, but he won't manage to do that. Get Right was in CT. Do they plant fast? Going for the Ivy plant. Cover from Pasha, presumably. Get Right's getting as fast, as close as possible. Cutting the sounds now. 1-on-1. He's got to figure where Pasha might be based on the bomb plant. As Pasha would have to cover, he'd have to cut the bomb site in half.
This is always a really tough 1v1 for a CT to win.
Got to chase him. Up the ladder, very smart from Get Right. The CZ, will it go in time? Oh, the pre-fire, the reload, the AK, the spray, the pre-fire again. And Pasha will beat all of it.
Yeah, and that's exactly why it's such a hard 1v1 to win, because when the T finds out that you're not on the bomb, it's so hard to chase him at that point and, you know, force the issue. There's so many places for him to hide. And at that point, you're so far away from the bomb that you couldn't even run back and defuse it.
Back and forth rounds. First of 2 games between these 2 teams today. This is game number 5 for Virtus Pro in ECS so far. A lot of Virtus Pro yesterday as well. Snacks is very quickly into back bomb train. Smiling for the camera. And there's another round in the back. This looks pretty good for Virtus Pro now. Even now that they're fighting for match points, and NIP have got $2,500, so.
Yeah, what's your thoughts about this round? NIP is buying. What do you think? You're down 14-7. You're on CT side. You have 2.4. So if you save, you get a full buy, but you're going to be down 15-7 probably. You just buy, because what are the chances you win, you know, 8 rounds in a row, send it to OT?
I think there's no bad decision, in my opinion, because I think their chances are very, very low anyway. Obviously, winning when they're on 14 gives you a much better chance. But then having your best buy gives you a better chance to win as well. So I think either way, it's a terrible situation. So it just depends on. I mean, I might even lean towards playing with the full buy.
Yeah, I would say buying on that round. I've always favored buying on that round. If you're down 14-7, it's like, dude, I don't care if we lose 16-7, but I would much rather lose 16-7 than, you know, save and then lose 16-9. You know, like, and actually have a chance at maybe coming back.
Yeah. For me, I think you can do either one depending on what you think is best for you.
Oh, that's a nice pick.
I like that pick from the CT side. I've never gone for that pick as a T, though.
I actually first saw Henny make that pick as a T. He'd jump out mid and take that pick. We called it the Henny pick.
That is insane. Oh, I miss those days of Henny just walking out and doing crazy stuff.
Is it
walking to E-box scoped in?
Yeah, is it Henny or Hen1 actually?
It's Hen1 and Lucas 1, yeah.
Okay.
But he doesn't mind being called Henny.
Okay.
2-on-2. NIP still in this for now, but Get Right's on the Mag 7. Neo coming from main again, and Get Right's giving some time cues away, and that'll be enough for the kill. Dennis has some information now, sees him leave, turns around to meet his executor eye to eye, and that will be that. 16-7, a huge score on train for Virtus Pro, another win in the bag for them, and they don't often do well in online leagues in recent seasons, so it's great to see them getting some matches. Took one from FaZe away yesterday as well, and there's one more game to come today.
Yeah, it's nice. Maybe VP found a new home map in train. Two wins in a row, right? VP and,
yeah.
Or I'm sorry, FaZe and now NIP.
Nice stuff, and again, they've essentially changed 2 roles, at least on the CT side, with Neo playing in and now and Mihu playing elsewhere. Because that was a big question for me, was because I think like when NIP were changing one play here or there, it's just like take this person's roles, you know, regardless of what you were doing elsewhere. But definitely have been more accommodating for Mihu, and it seems to be working out.
Yeah, I don't even think Mihu has really put his footprint in on the team, you know. I think he could definitely be a lot more impactful than what he's been so far. So it's good to see VP showing signs of life again, because it's been a long time since we've seen them, you know, hang in these games against tier 1/